Hey guys, it's Chris, and welcome to Toneful, the self-actualization video podcast, episode number 52. Do the real thing. So in this week's episode, guys, I want to talk to you about the idea of actually taking action. When we actually move through life with purpose, one of the things you'll notice is the probably most successful moments of your life that you can quantify down to a single level outside of focus was that you were taking action. And when we take action in life, it can bring so much knowledge and information forward that would have remained hidden if we were just researching the hobby online or our new project online. If we were just taking the time to watch others do, the said activity and learn from watching them. While these can be useful tools and at times they can show us where we have weak points and where we have strong points, taking action is such a special process that happens within your own psyche and that happens within your own understanding of yourself as you push yourself into the process. In my personal life, I actually had a situation show up where this became very prevalent recently. In making some new music, I started the process a little bit differently than I normally do. I usually chase an idea that's in my head. I can already hear it. I can already kind of envision the way the music sounds. But a lot of times, I'm figuring that out directly on my guitar where all the notes are and how that's going to really play out to move that song around the neck. And this time I actually took to recording the idea first. And this brought so much information that would have not been brought forth to me because I didn't have to notice it until I start recording. And this actually made me hyper aware of how much I could learn from actually recording first, taking action first. And that is the integral thing, is to learn that taking action is our biggest tool, or it's our strongest power, is not being afraid to see what that process will play out and how we can be adaptive during that process. This is so important because there are so many of us that have a project that we're almost starting. We have a hobby that we want to start, but maybe we feel we don't have enough to, whether it's resources, that could be time, finances, whatever it is, we can't do it. But I highly recommend that you take action on the things that you want to do. If you've been looking to write more often recently or work out more often, I recommend that you do it. Not only will you find out more about the workout itself that maybe you want to do or this new project that you want to take on, you might come to understand yourself better, which I think is true of this process every single time, is you'll learn to understand yourself better. And you'll find that you have certain roadblocks when you're working through taking action that you can learn to stop or that you can learn to prevent. One of the big things is taking your triggers and actually laying those out and going, when I'm on a path to doing something good and I notice I'm getting on a roll, I'm feeling the focus, I'm feeling the inspiration, and to top it off, I'm taking action. If you're doing those three things together, good things are bound to be happening. But as good things happen, life happens as well. Sometimes we run into some rough patches, whether that's our poor thinking, we're not used to ourselves being successful. That could be us talking ourselves out of working on the project that we're working on, that it seems silly, it's too grandeur, it's this, it's that, and putting names on it and putting judgments on something that you haven't finished or that you're still working on. And they're judgments that are not from you, they're from people outside you. That's a really scary thing. We're trying to make up judgments that we think other people would say because what we think that we lack. And really what we want to do is be putting that effort into taking that action and to being focused and going, when I feel that fear, I'm going to have a rule that I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing because I notice that when I take the risk, things work out well for me in life and I learn something. And so, maybe there is a part in your song that you're like, this is totally different than anything else. Will people think it's weird? Totally different from everything else could actually be the most next amazing thing. It could be weird, but if you already felt it was weird, Why are you stopping yourself? There's so much on the other side of what you can learn on the other side of taking action. And far too much, again, like I said, I learned from that recording process. It's like a lot of people are acting for people around them. They put on their best interpretation of what they think everyone around them wants. And really, we can never make everybody around us happy that way. We end up making ourselves sad usually, and then a bunch of other people around us are kind of wondering why we're having a hard time seeming consistent, like our character seems inconsistent. And this is something that's really important as an artist, because your character is one of the main kind of things. Like when you take action, that shows your character. Your character is shown through that. And as a musician, as an artist, your character is a strong part of how people not only view you, but how they also kind of evaluate the way that your creative process works. And again, their evaluation is going to always be outside yourself. I can't remember the jazz player who said, like, everyone said, like, aren't you concerned about the listener? And then his response was, well, the player is the first listener. And so really, it really does matter what you think sounds good. And that's so important to bring into this world. No matter what kind of art you do, people value authenticity. There's just no way to turn away from that. And if you can take your action that you're making and be authentic behind it, and find those triggers and tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to have to find ways to get over these different triggers. And the best thing I can do is take action in the things that I want to see more of in this world. You want to see more kind people at the grocery store? Then be a kind person at the grocery store. Help someone out. If you want to be in better health for you and for your family, and you go, I'm really tired of being in the type of health I'm in. I want to work on something better. All right. Well, then start bringing health to the forefront. Find a way to make the right foods fit into your budget and diet, and stick with that. And don't let a week get in and then you tell yourself, oh, I'm kind of scared of these results. I'm losing weight fast. Well, I heard it's bad to lose weight fast, so I better eat 3 chocolate bars to maintain some of my weight. Don't be afraid of your results. Keep going. There are people who are taking action right now, and they are loving life. Not because everything is perfect in their life, but because they know that the things that they're working for, those are happening. And that's something that we can all have. That's something we can all have, is us taking action on the things that are important and just making an absolute just run for that process, to enjoy the process, to enjoy making things up and to keep creating. And if we can keep that in mind, can you imagine how far we can take ourselves? Most people spend months of a year in depression or holding themselves back or thinking about something. Imagine if you just spent, instead of 3/4 of the year in recovery and thinking about what you would do, just like a whole year of just going off. And how wonderful that would really actually look, not only maybe in success, like, maybe worldly success in some ways, but, how that would look for your soul, like how you would feel about yourself when you go to bed and you wake up and you understand what purpose means to you and what it means to you to actually feel a certain way and push that forward in life to others who you love and who you care about. So those are some things to keep in mind, that when we take action and we love the process, the faster we get there, we learn things that we will never learn until we start it. Like literally, you're at step 1 and you can do a little bit of the process and then start doing research or something and think that you're going to get to step 8. No, step 2 is by doing some more. Step 3 is by doing a little bit more. So it's keeping in mind that, we are going to take breaks and we are going to handle what we can at the rate that's possible for us as a person. But to keep in mind that it is not going to come to us. It's going to be you going to it and bringing yourself closer to that energy of, what am I doing in this process? And in that, you'll find yourself becoming more open. You'll find yourself becoming more versatile. You're going to notice things happening and you're going to make adjustments quicker. you got to learn to be able to do the process and kind of see how things are happening. Okay, this is going to be a problem later. This is like something we should have paid a little bit of attention to, or hey, and you just got to gather from the moment. You know, if you ride a bike, you'll probably learn if you pedal too slow, the bike's wobbly. If you pedal really too fast and you don't control the way you're pedaling, the bike is wobbly too as well. But there is a certain speed for every tension level that the chain could be at that's optimum. And you can feel that out. If you were to ride a bike, you'd be like, okay, you know? And just like the bike, that's how we need to be treating our life. We need to be finding that perfect tension where we can move forward. We're seeing things happening. We're seeing how this process is affecting us. But at the same time, taking into account, hey, these are my triggers. Oh, wow, I'm feeling as I'm creating this success, I'm also creating some fear. What's this fear from? Moving forward. What can I do with moving forward that would make me feel more comfortable? Oh, that moving forward is my only choice. Or, you know, you have that talk with yourself. That's part of the self-actualization, is realizing that all the answers are really inside you. And the goal is to bring them out. You know, we're made in the image of God, they say. You know, in the Bible, it reads that we are made in the image of God. And for that inside of us, at our highest, best level, there is a piece of God inside of all of us that we can extract, you know? So I hope that you guys enjoyed this week's Toned and Toneful. Again, it's just taking action, do the real thing. And I think that you'll end up in such a great place. If you made it to this point in the episode, write the word Michelangelo or the name Michelangelo, like, you know, the Renaissance man, you know, being a scientist and artist and all the above. So I really appreciate your guys' time this week. And above all things, I hope you can stay toned and toneful.